You know, he's been giving you amazing music for quite some time right now. That is M.I. Abaga with Mr. Fantastic, his brand new single right here on the Heartbeat of Lagos. It's 11:42 and I have two very special guests in the studio to help me kickstart the midday show. They are creatives, they are brothers, and I'm guessing it runs in the family. Hello, please help me welcome Mr. Jimmy and Sola Akingbola. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Nicole. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very honored to be here. You know, I haven't been to Nigeria for a very long time. If honest, I feel like this is like a first for me, just because there's been so much change in my life, and so I feel like this trip is like a family return. You know?
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
First thing first, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. How long has it been, like officially?
Well, I was here in 2023.
Okay, that's not too long.
Yeah.
No, I was here about 2010. So.
2010.
Yeah. So
I think some things have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So we know you guys here. You are some pretty big names in the entertainment and the movie music industry. I'll start with you, Mr. Jimmy. You are a fantastic actor, producer, host. I've been reading up about you. As you walked in, some of our staff are like, "Oh my God, I'm looking at you, Elvis. I'm looking at you." So talk to me a bit about, how did you even catch that creative bug that you wanted to entertain people?
That's a really good question. I think not just because he's here, but growing up and seeing my brother, be one of the best percussionists in the world and working with people like Jamiroquai, I realized that I don't have any of that musical talent. Okay. So when I was younger and I was like studying like acting, I said to myself, if I can get to where he got, like, winning Grammys and stuff as an actor, then I'm going to be okay, And so I just decided to follow my heart and my passion. I've always loved films, TV, and I've enjoyed theater. And when my mom told me I shouldn't do acting, I when in the UK, I was able to, give her a bit of a small lie and say, of course I won't do it, but I went ahead and done it, and I feel like I'm living my dream,
Oh, fantastic. So shall I see you got the creative bug first and inspired Jimmy, so you went down the music route. Do you play instruments? I'm 100%. Which instruments did you pick up first?
Piano, drums first.
Oh yeah,
always drums. Before the drums, I love to dance. Love dancing. I always say to people, even now, that you have to embody the sound, embody the sound, and then you transfer that embodiment to your instrument, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
and then it's just a constant learning curve.
I love that.
But like Jimmy, I mean, Dad didn't want any of us to do the creatives. It was academic, university.
You must be a doctor, lawyer.
Naija, doctor, engineer. So, and as the oldest, I was the black. But there's a very interesting story. We were playing at Wembley Arena in 1997 with Jamiroquai, and on this particular night, Jay asked me to open a particular song. He'd never asked me to open a song like that before, and it was the only gig that Dad came to see.
Oh wow!
So I came on stage with my bata and I started to play, and at the end of the show, I'm backstage and I could see our father was in the corner, and he looked almost as if he was crying. Dad is never emotional. So I went, "Dad, is everything okay?" And he couldn't even look at me. He said, "Sola, I owe you an apology." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "As I was watching you play and listening to you sing, and the way you were playing the bata, you remind me of my mother's family. They're from Ojota, they're from Oyo. They came down from Oyo to Ojota. They're Egungun performers." So from that moment, it was like an epiphany moment that, so
this is what you mean.
I'm honoring that woman, then that's what I'm doing. And we're all doing it now.
I love that. And shout out to your dad, because not a lot of parents would take the time to apologize.
Thank you, Let's shout him out.
No, it's true.
Let's shout him out.
True.
I love that. So you caught the music bug, and then Jimmy was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit the stage. I'm gonna show them one or two things. So much so that you have been in quite a few projects. I've been seeing one of your most recent ones. Thrones. You play Jeffrey in Bel-Air. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Everybody walking this earth knows about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So even when the spin-off was coming out and everything, they were like, wow, what is it going to be like? So much so that we are in the 3rd season. So how did you even get that opportunity or hear that, something like this is in the works?
You know what? I remember during the pandemic or just before, there was a trailer going around. It was called Bel-Air.
Yeah.
And it was so good. It was created by the creator, Morgan Cooper. But it was just a sizzle. You know, it wasn't the show, but it looked like it had already been shot. I remember watching it going, I'm not going to have a chance to be in it. It's already been made. And then I think after the pandemic, the sizzle went viral. Will Smith spotted it, called him in. He could have got in trouble because he didn't get permission to, use all the images and stuff like that. But Will was like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. Lots of people have tried to repitch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to me, and it's not been this good. And then I had to audition. I turned it down the first time it came
Really?
through. Yeah.
Shola looks confused. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, at first they said Jeffrey, and he's like mid to late 50s or 60s. I was like, oh man, like I like acting and playing characters, but that's too much of a stretch,
Yes.
And then they came back, said no, ignore the age. They're very open. They specifically are interested to see my audition tape. And then I did it with Shola's youngest daughter, Fola, who's also an actress in Night Agent. And Nicole, it's one of those roles where as soon as I started playing with it, I was just like, I know this character.
Yeah.
I know this Jeffrey. I can do it with my eyes closed. And
Jeffrey's a big character.
Huge character.
He's one of the most loved ones in the series.
Oh, thank you so much. He's the glue, right? He's like the uncle to all the kids, and also I think he represents, like in this version, we weren't focusing on black help. It's like 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
It's more about like brotherhood, you know what I mean? In terms of Uncle Phil and him are equals. And I think that's something the show was intentional about like, how can we show us in a different way? We're not a monolith as black people, and how do we show black excellence and love and vulnerability? And I think the show does all those things really well.
I know, fantastic. I haven't seen the latest season, but I've seen the last 2, and I'm just like, okay, I've got that bug. It's itching. I can't wait to see it. So Shola, you're not only a fantastic percussionist, you're also a composer as well, and we know that you're currently working on Bob Hart's Abishola. Is that correct?
That's finished. Finished this year.
That finished. What was that like?
That was an incredible opportunity that came out of the pandemic when everybody was locked away at home. Chuck Law gave me the gig.
Chuck Law's big.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And he said, look, we're doing a show about a Nigerian nurse falling in love with an American businessman, and we want the music to be very particular. They heard a song from my first album, Roots to Roots, which I did in 2007. Very my way of kind of speaking to home. So I used traditional drummers. I tried to sing ancient poems from Ifa, and the drummers really got inside it, and they loved the music, the Americans, Chuck Law. And it's funny, during that show, he said to me, Shola, when are you gonna record another album? So he was so he could hear that there's something
there's something.
But yeah, very, very fortunate. I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day, I made that album in 2007. And some people said to me, Shola, why are you wasting your money doing a kind of traditional album, blah, blah, blah. 12 years later, in 2019, Warner Brothers called me because they listened to this one particular song, and they were impressed with how it sounded in terms of the production. They said they'd been listening to library music from Nigeria for 6 months before and apparently an intern came into the studio who was a Jamiroquai fan and said, listen to this CD from the guy from Jamiroquai percussionist, and the rest is history.
Amazing. That's when you say when it's your time, it's your time.
And also be consistent and steady and focused on what you're doing. Get it done to the best of your ability. You know, sometimes, I mean, I get it. It's the new generation. Everything is very fast, fast,
and people's attention span.
It's not necessarily the best. You know.
Yeah, sometimes a slow burn.
Sometimes a slow burn. Yeah.
And now you have another 11-track album that's out.
How Should I? So that's out at the moment.
Hey, congratulations.
Available on Bandcamp. Thank you very much. Completely different approach, different sound. more exploring our fluidity culturally, that we can inhabit different spaces. England, Yoruba land. I love a little bit of American jazz and hip hop and funk. So this is a little bit more, how do we say in Yoruba, umilenio. People are like water.
Ooh, I like that. I'm not a Yoruba girl, so you can teach me any new words. So I love the fact that, you know, you're calling this like an official homecoming, and you're currently here to shoot a documentary, if I'm correct, which is called Mission Motherland.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about that, Jimmy.
Yeah, Mission Motherland basically is a new show that's going to be on BET UK and the US, which is about taking different talented individuals from the UK, the diaspora, to go back to their motherlands, you know, and they decided to pick me because of all the work that I've done as an actor, producer, and my brother as well, him as a musician, and to return back home to Nigeria, because I've always wanted to work in Nigeria and visit, but like, you know, without getting into my family's stuff, like, you know, life be lifing, and there's been a lot of complications, and I've been busy, and I've also been very particular about when I come. And so, you know, this documentary and working with my really great friend Fela Oke, who's here, you know, like, I just said to myself, like, now's the time. After wrapping up on season 4 of Bel-Air, I was like, Fela, I want to come to Nigeria. And he's like, all right, let's make it happen this year. And then this documentary happened as well, and so it feels like a nice full circle moment to reconnect. I want to learn, I want to grow, and also I want to, you know, share what I've learned in the UK. You know, I'm really interested in the dynamics of, like, I feel like when you have that UK born Nigerians and, you know, Nigerians that are born in Nigeria, and just coming together and seeing, you know, what comes out of that creatively, and I'm excited to see what I learn about my family as well. Like Akingbola, I've been told we've got a street called Akingbola Street.
Akingbola Street,
so
you come and find out you're a prince.
I know. I feel like I've been coming to
Literally,
coming to America.
Prince Jimmy has arrived.
Your lineage, right? Yeah.
That's really amazing. So you're going to be visiting maybe parts of your parents where they grew up, and like see how they lived before, you know. And like I was telling you off air, like I'm someone as well that grew up in the UK. Have you ever felt not a disconnect? Because I would say the one thing that I appreciate about Yoruba people is that you guys are apologetic yourself wherever you are in the world. You know, you can be Malaysia, you be speaking Yoruba, so you guys will pick it up. I, unfortunately, when I moved to the UK, they spoke English to me. Even when I was here, I don't speak any of my languages, unfortunately. I know it's now up to me to learn. I'm a big girl, but do you ever feel that kind of like disconnect because you didn't really grow up here as much?
You know what? I think I'll start first. I think I did. I struggled with that a lot. Like, my parents, I'm the youngest. There was 4 of us, and so our parents didn't teach us Yoruba. It was that thing that they didn't want to hinder us, you know. And I was like, I used to see my Filipino friends, my Indian friends. They'll speak English at school, go home, I wouldn't understand a word they were saying. So when I was to hang out with my Nigerian friends, even Fela, he would tease me like, how do you not know your own language, you know? And my Baba, Mr. T's in Cannington Barking Road, I'd be like, uncle, you don't know my story, please be easy with me. Exactly. So I did struggle with that, but then I got to a point where it was no longer a struggle, you know. I realized it was about owning who you are. You know, Nigerian blood is in me, you know what I mean? You know, some people think I'm Ghanaian. They're like, you don't look Nigerian. You know? I'm like, well, I don't mind. I'm a shapeshifter, you know. But if you see my name, Jimmy, you know, Akingbola, you know, it's clearly Nigerian. So I've learned to really own who I am, and like, we are all different. Do you know what I'm saying? You could be a Naija man, like you said, in Brazil, you're Cuba, Germany, we're everywhere. We're like ants. I love it, you know? And so I did struggle at first, and then I learned to embrace it. And I think in the creative industry, we all gravitate towards each other, you know, be it if it's John Boyega, be it if it's Gina Yashere, you know, Karen Chikezi. Like, I can name so many of us, Wale Ojo and Amatola, and, you know, I'm hoping to meet Toby Bakari out here. I'm like, no matter where we are, we're aware of each other. And even if we haven't met, there's a warmth.
Yes.
And I think I got that from growing up as a teenager, just going, look, don't worry, your story isn't just for you. I meet other people, but I'm like, you grew up with your family, they're in the church, they're proper Yorubas, and you don't have to speak your language. They're like, Jimmy, you're doing to me what those people do to you. And I'm like, okay. So I feel like my story, once I realized my story wasn't just about me, there's many people like me across the world in that similar position, then I was like, just relax and, embrace who you are and just make sure you represent.
And having those two cultures, it also makes you this version of you,
exactly.
Uniquely you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I definitely got to the point where I didn't, sometimes no matter what you go through in life, you might be like, would you want to change anything? And I realized, no, even though there's some pain and disappointment there, I am the man I am today because of, all the people that have been in my life. And so, yeah. Thank you for that.
I love that. Shola, do you agree or disagree?
Absolutely. It was the same for me. I mean, I never really settled at school because we came in 65, so my parents came to West London in 65, and we lived with our cousins, the Josimis, and they went back quite early. So I never got over them returning to Nigeria. So I never really bonded with anybody at school. And also, when I was at school, there was a real tension between Caribbeans and Africans. So I was one of three in a school of 200, mainly Caribbeans. Myself, Ayo, Shokoya, and Dolakbo, and we were always fighting, and we could never get girlfriends because we were African.
Trust me about it.
Look how things have changed.
Look how things have changed. But the thing, like you said, we had to hold it. We had to hold it. Well, we're different. And Dad used to say that, look, you're not here to go to the pub. You're not here to join those. We're here to study, and then we're going home. Yeah. So I never had a sense of England being home. So I've always had it as a constant resonance in my heart and in my ears that, well, we're going home. Home is here. So finally coming here in 78 and then feeling the difference that, I see. And also I was born here. I was born in Oregon. But I mean, as Jimmy was saying, it was difficult because our parents didn't speak Yoruba to us. They spoke Yoruba to each other. So I can hear what's happening. And so it doesn't surprise me that I've become a musician because there's an emotional response to the sound of Yoruba, which is very important to me. And I use that in everything that I do musically. My work with Jamiroquai, people can hear it, that he's playing in a very Yoruba way. And that's because that's the music we grew up listening to. That's what Mum and Dad used to listen to. Sonny Ade, Ebenezer Obey. I mean, these are all older musicians to the listeners. It's not Burna Boy, Whiskey. That's like, no. These are the guys. Yusuf Olatunji, Aruna Ishola. That's the music I imbibed, and it's something that I've always tried to reproduce. And we tried. I tried to study in London with Professor Oyetade. I did 3 years so as to learn to write Yoruba. A lot of people, even people that speak fluently, ask them to go and write it. They are rubbish. I'm telling you that they can't write the tones properly. I can tell you, you speak, I'll write it for you.
Now you
Thank
got
you,
one
Professor
up.
Oyetade.
I love that. You both seem like very well-rounded individuals that, are unapologetic who you are, and you just want to showcase the fantastic talents that you have to the world. And I love that. I love people that, not only want to entertain but educate people through the work that they do. And it seems like that's what you guys are all about. Now, I have a couple more questions before I let you go. As I was doing some research, this is not the first documentary you are doing, right? You've done some before, right?
Yeah, we did a documentary called Handle with Care, which was again, I believe we seem to be like sort of naturally storytellers, right? And it was about I was in foster care in the UK. It was a bit different from back in the 70s.
Just you or
no, just me. Yeah. You can watch the documentary to understand why.
Okay.
So I don't want to give that away. But there was a big movement in the UK. A lot of Nigerians being in care for multiple reasons, and I wanted to sort of tell a story that showed the full story of that journey for somebody. I felt like society would look at any young person that had been through care and be like, oh, that means you can't achieve anything, you may be in jail, you won't have a family. It was all quite negative, and the stats are the stats, but the stats are not the full story. I wanted to create a documentary that inspired that younger version of myself, that they could be anything they want to be despite their beginning. Their beginning didn't have to dictate their future. But then also I know there's a lot of people out there thinking about adopting or fostering kids, and I just wanted to make something that was unapologetically made in the way that we want to make it, and actually celebrates our family, and that family is not always blood.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I learned about
Sometimes you
unconditional
choose
love.
family.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, and that was tough. It was off the back of the pandemic. We lost quite a few family members during that.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you. But when we was doing it, we realized it was bigger than us, you know, and we just wanted to. I think it was, for me, it was like a love letter to our family, right?
That's a nice way of describing it. Yeah, a love letter to the family.
And what was it like for you to watch, maybe not knowing some of the things he had gone through?
It was very moving, exactly, and revealing and very emotional, as you can imagine. But yeah, it opened the journey for more exploration and to strengthen our connection.
You seem very close.
Yeah, no, we are. I think
getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
You know, all our siblings, we've always had a real strong, close bond. You know, no matter if there's been gaps in our times of, like, you know, growing up together, and I think that's beautiful. You know, and I think you know, basically, I feel like we're in that place now where we just really want to honor our family. You know, even this documentary, A Mission Motherland, we're realizing that our grandma, her being a performer, and then the impact that she's had throughout the family, that creative line, we're just really enjoying that journey of discovering more, you know, and also thanking her for our gifts that we all have. That's
the legacy. That's the wealth. That's the wealth.
Yeah. We talk a lot about names. My middle name's Bamidele and Olatukumbo, and like bring wealth from abroad, return home with me. And so, you know, Nigerian names are powerful, and I feel like this documentary is sort of like honoring those names in some ways, you know. And we're coming back here with a sense of wealth of all the work that we've been doing in the UK, but also a sense of desire to connect with, you know, our brothers and sisters here, and that's what I'm excited about. Are you sure?
Definitely a dialogue and building a bridge to learn, and also to bring some value and some experience to the creative world. It's a really hard. Who is it? The writer, the American writer, Toni Morrison. She said being an artist is dangerous. Fela said it as well. Fela Kuti said it's dangerous. It's not a game. Music is it's creativity. When it's fully understood, is there to open up understandings for everybody. That's challenging power, challenging yourself, power within your family, power at work, or in dynamics that don't feel healthy to you. How do you express yourself through that? The Yorubas are brilliant at doing that, using Owe proverbs and Uriki. It's a fantastic, subtle, very powerful way of, hey, bro, that's not right what you're doing. You know, we need seriously creative people, and we need to research our creative codes in the country and elevate it actually and hold it. It's not the wealth is not the oil. The wealth is the culture.
Yes, definitely.
Snaps. My bro, drops bars. I love it.
We should have like a beat going, because that's a song right there. I love that. So you guys you've already started doing it. So I know that you're one of the co-founders for Triforce, and you do a bunch of stuff where you bring creatives forward and give them a spotlight, right?
Yes, yeah. And we do a number of initiatives, short film festivals, monologue slams, one of them that created with Fela in London, and did it in the US as well, but also like writers initiatives as well. Basically going, no matter where our careers were going, we've always been very selfless and going like, all right, I'm already working, but how can I open a door or send a ladder down to bring people up? And I've always been like that, you know. I feel like we have to be like that. Some people don't, they like to close the door. We're definitely we love to give people opportunities and showcase talent that deserves to be seen, but not only deserves to be seen, but create a tangible outcome for them, whether they get signed by an agent, whether they get a job, or get some sense of a work experience. And I think, I don't know, I feel like coming to Nigeria, I'm interested to see and meet some of the next, that talent coming up. But also I want to, connect with.
If you did a Triforce Nigerian leg, I'll be there.
Done. Yeah,
you go.
yeah. But no, I think both of us, we just love talented individuals, right?
Loves to see talent.
I always try and think.
Always.
I don't know, Shola. I've got a question. Who would you like to perform with? If if you could meet 3 or 4 different artists in the next 20 days while you're in Nigeria.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Take my job,
I'm
Jimmy.
so sorry.
No.
I
love it.
Oh man. Well, the Kutis.
Oh.
I'd love to play with any of the Kuti family.
Okay.
I mean, I have to say I'm a little bit ignorant of the up and coming talent, but I'd love to see what the post Burner, post Wiz, post Thames, who are the next.
There are a lot of young people.
Who are they? Where are they? I'd love to.
The Faves, the King Maddies, the Taves.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people you like.
I'd be very excited to be able to spend some time with them in a room producing and writing and just experimenting and jamming.
Nice. You mentioned a couple people you wouldn't mind coming across. Now you're in Nigeria, but do you want to be on any movie sets while you're around?
Oh man, I would love to be on the next big Nigerian Christmas movie. And I would love to. I've got a Nigerian TV show that I'm working on with some great people that I would love to get on here in Nigeria as well. Yeah, man, I'm open. I'm down.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, fella, can you make it happen?
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Fela Uke is our man.
Lovely. Sounds. Ooh, somebody saying something?
The fella just said he's gonna make it happen.
He will make it happen. I love that. Well, it's been so fantastic to get to know you guys a little bit more. This is your official homecoming. How long are you around for before you leave us?
I think we're here to early October, so we're around for a while. So
for a little bit.
So yeah, maybe be seeing you.
You will definitely be seeing me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. For my listeners, if you want to know a bit more about them, definitely check them out. You guys are on social media, I'm guessing, right? Can you give out your socials? Yeah,
it's my name, Jimmy Akingbola.
Mine is Sola Akingbola.
I like that. No Shola 2 squared. Thank you so much for joining me on the Midday Show and giving us some of your creative genius and just letting us know a bit about what you guys are about and what you have to offer and how you're paying it forward. Very impressive.
Thank you, Nicole. Very much. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It is 12:09 right here on the Heartbeat of Lagos. When you hear my voice again, I'll come back with hot topics, letting you know what's trending in this big, beautiful world. But let's go to the top of the UK charts with this one. It's Olivia Dean's Man I Need.